What is up, Jimmy with the stimmy? We get started in 4 minutes, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Love you guys. Got the calming music on. Haven't listened to that in a little while. Ciao, Antonio. Come stai? You're in Italy, I believe, right? Come stai? I think that's right. I know way more Spanish than Italian. Was on Paul Barron earlier. We both think September ain't gonna be the greatest month, but there's a lot in store for us with the merge and everything. So we'll look. It looks like we're range bound again. Kind of a fake out this morning. Well, we'll talk about it. Don't want to give it all away just yet. If you guys enjoy the content, it's got to be sarcasm, right, Antonio? It's got to be sarcasm. Bene grazie. Grazie, yeah, the grazie is thank you, yeah. Bene, molto bene, molto bene. That's got to be sarcasm. There is no way I have a good Italian accent. Yeah. It's been a while. I haven't been to Italy since what year was it? 2018, I believe. Yeah, it's been a couple of years now. Great place. Tuscany was really nice up in the wine tasting. Florence I kind of liked better than Rome a little bit. Rome was just so many tourists. Rome is more like dirtier. They don't keep it as clean. I kind of liked Florence and Tuscany. That was really nice. Amalfi Coast, incredible. Nick, hey, I'm using Coinbase for USDC, USDT tethering. Well, I mean, obviously, hardware wallet is going to be the safest. I mean, in this type of environment, I do think there's probably going to be more liquidity issues in all likelihood if we do end up coming down to 13K, having another capitulation. So, I have a lot of my altcoins, divided among all the interest earning exchanges. So if one goes down, it's not the end of the world. I did take a little bit of a hit with Celsius, but it was somewhat insignificant because I had everything spread out on so many different exchanges for the altcoins. The majority of my Bitcoin is kept on a hardware wallet. So yeah, I mean, I use a Trezor. I don't think, Trezor, Ledger, it's basically the same exact thing. It's kind of like Geico versus Allstate. Really interesting, Antonio. I mean, I am ethnically Italian, but nobody spoke Italian really that I grew up around. So yeah, some people say I do have a good accent for Spanish as well. I mean, I know 100 times more Spanish than Italian, but yeah. I mean, Italy, it's you say something Italian, they respond to you in English. I mean, it's not really. I mean, you probably got to go to like some Sicily or something. I mean, no, you're not quite like Carson. I'm trying to think, we're probably more in southern Italy. They don't speak English, but even in Rome, I mean, where I was, most people would respond to me in English. Sometimes some people didn't speak English, but it wasn't. I took Spanish in high school, so I knew just way more Spanish. So I was just always saying stuff in Spanish. It was, you would really have to have a passion for Italian to learn it. But yeah. Anyway, guys, we're about to get started right here. Thank you so much for joining me. Nice turnout, 50 people so far. Guys, hit the like button if you enjoy the content or don't. All right, guys. Thanks so much for for joining me. Let's get into the analysis. So it looks relatively like, well, let's do a top down. I mean, the latest thing, the first thing I want to show you guys, I believe I did show you this on the video yesterday, but Yellow X in the 10-day is, you'd probably be expecting, it to be extremely bearish, but this is probably the main case right now, I would say, to have already bottomed out, because you look at, this wick down, and then it's kind of similar to that almost, where you did come down a bit. That would probably be the case to come down a little bit farther, maybe a double bottom pattern or something, and then continue forward. Now, I don't think that's too likely. I think in all likelihood, you're going to come down farther, test 13K. Some, people like Gareth Solway think that that's the best case scenario, 12 or 13K. But there is anything could happen. There is an argument to make for a double bottom pattern. I don't think it's very likely. I would only give it maybe a 10 or 20% chance. I think 40 to 60% chance you're going to come down to like 13, 14K around that area. That's the huge area, and then the bottom is probably there. I think it's in all likelihood what will happen. But there is the case to make for this, and I would say the next green dot to confirm on your 10-day, probably the 6-day minimum to the 10-day would probably be a great place to buy. Historically, that would give you a really, really good entry for the, if it's like this, you're just going to stay under the radar, and kind of like this whole area was pretty much under the radar. Probably, some people were talking about it a little bit, and some are a 16, but it was pretty under the radar here. Like, not many people were. I didn't really hear, it was probably really this point, September, my junior year of college, the first semester junior year of college, that people started talking about, and then it went up, to that point to 20K. But it might be nice. It's different now. It's hard to say what's going to happen. Social risk, I know Ben Cowan was talking about, social risk is still somewhat high by his metrics. So still too many people are turning in, but maybe, just maybe, if you come down to 13K, that'll be the point where it comes off the radar. But it's got the name recognition now, so yeah, it's hard to really say in that aspect. You can make both arguments both ways here. You could say, yeah, we bottomed out because these over here, or you could say this one's due. We had two that didn't really play out here. This one's due to play out a lot more. It confirms in 6 days. It's likely it will appear on the 10 days well, as long as it probably won't take much more. If we come down to 18.9, it'll probably appear on the 10-day, and it'll probably confirm there as well. If I did, tell you what I think based on how everything else looks, I would say it's going to come down quite a bit more here from this. Now, this is the first time it's ever appeared on the 8-day. Generally, rule of thumb, most likely, it's going to be a more powerful version of a regular red dot, and this one brought us down 58%. Now, 58%, which is interesting, is the same as here. This is 58%. Now, the case for that, as market cap gets higher, if you look at this pattern, this is less. This is only 52 about. If you come down, that would tell you it's 10% less each time. You'd come down about 40%, give or take. 13K, that's a big area. 400 weekly moving average. I think that's most likely. If you do come down the 58%, real capitulation, real major catastrophe, that's where Tether could be a little bit in trouble. You did depeg the last time we had our crash down to 17K. If you're coming down to 9K, I'd be careful. I could be wrong in this. Some people disagree with me, but I would be a little careful with Tether. I would be careful with anything other than a hardware wallet coming down to these points. I trust for Gemini, I trust a decent amount. They've been in the game a while. I think they're probably they're probably going to be immune. I think Crypto.com is going to be one of the ones I would trust more. FTX probably, which they own BlockFi now. You're probably going to be okay. That's where it gets a little bit more rough area. Probably the ones you would want to worry about the most, probably KuCoin. They've had some issues a little bit. And then there's, a few others, obviously. But yeah, to answer your question now would be hardware wallet galore. I do have altcoins, spread out, like I mentioned earlier when somebody asked me, I think it was Nick in the chat. I do have altcoins. I know this isn't TA, but a lot of you guys like to know about this stuff as well, especially if you're new to the game. I have the majority of my altcoins earning interest on different interest earning platforms, because kind of my view is if the majority of these platforms make it, the altcoins will make it, and vice versa. So that's what I risk, and altcoins are very risky to begin with, so that's why I do it. But the majority of like Bitcoin I do have on a hardware wallet, as safe as can be. So yeah, and my view is, spread it out on all these exchanges. I got stuff on Kraken, I got stuff on, still do have stuff on BlockFi. I did get a little scared when the things happened, but FTX bought them out, so I do keep a little bit still on there. Crypto.com, Gemini, and oh man, there's a lot of others. I didn't have anything on Voyager. I did take a little bit of a loss in Celsius, a little bit, but it was not too significant. So looking at this one, I mean, it's like this. If it does bring you down, I think you could have a capitulation at like 9K or something. Then if you bounce up quickly from that, that would be kind of the clear bottom, some people say. I mean, that would look similar to this, kind of that 9K. And then you're kind of under the radar, just gradually come up from there. You could bottom out easily before the S&P 500. Like some people have made that argument. I think we followed the S&P 500 kind of too much now. We're due to do something a little bit different. That could be possible as well. If you look at kind of your 7-day confirmed 2 yellow X's, I believe, yeah, first time we've seen these, this one would give you the argument to come down a decent amount. 40%, if it's 40%, we did that, it's around 13K. And the thing too with this, you could out lag a little bit, and I could definitely see the argument to lag here with that indication because everybody's looking at it out, everybody's probably trying to short for it to be different. I do see that argument. Also, daily looks like it's about to print a red dot. We could be range bound here as well. Your 12-16 hour, these, in all likelihood, historically, 12-16 hour, red dots, lags a little bit in these two, but you could have something like that. Yeah, you definitely could, just to stop everybody out, up 7% or something, then come back down. Where would that bring us to? Yeah, 21. I could, that would not surprise me. But historically, I mean, usually these do play out pretty dang well. I mean, look at the down 16%. That was 25. Yeah, that was your buy in May at 24. I said 24K, 25. Yeah, buy May at 25K. Nice trade before it came down even farther. But yeah, 16% from here. That's would be your 300 weekly moving average. Kind of, I believe it's a little bit higher there. That could be the breakout of that. But could we, wick everybody out a little bit shorting and then come down in this wedge we're in? Absolutely. So that's what you got to worry about. Same deal with the 12 hour. I mean, these confirm in 3 hours. They will likely confirm, but we see something that confirm and that just bounces up. Technical target for this wedge, 18.9. That's a huge place as well to look for a scalp long. Price is respecting this point. People have talked about it. One of my biggest fans of Cool, he was talking about it. Maybe we will finally hit it. Right now, it seems like you're just kind of respecting this wedge. You did hit the spiral line, to be completely honest. I moved the spiral line up a little bit. It was a little bit down, but I kind of moved it up because it was like so close to these areas. You were just almost hitting it. So I cheated a little bit, like the trend line like that, so it looks better. Maybe it'll help. Maybe I just drew it wrong originally. We'll see. You are getting a, this would be, I believe this would be a bullish div right here on your 2 hours. So I could see it coming up a little bit more, absolutely, to stop a lot of people out. I mean, this was a tough market to trade because I was trying to, go scalp long when you were hitting the trend line right here, and there looked to be some good signs. Money flow crossovers on lower time frames just got stopped out as we came down, and then your spiral line that I just recently 10 minutes ago moved up and cheated, moved up more, would have been the place to look. So yeah, sometimes the market really will take what it can, so it makes things difficult. But it's tougher to trade when the market cap is this low and we're in a choppier market. And you got to realize, like, the people still around. A lot of the people still around in this game. They're people who know what they're doing too. Like, there's less of those, just trying to ride it all the way up on 10x leverage, watching double M crypto the whole time. You know what I mean? There's less of that. More of the people trading now on the leverage exchanges, they kind of know at least a little bit of what they're doing. That's why it's, you're competing with people who know what they're doing now. So it makes it a little bit more difficult as well. I would say that's one of the reasons. Because it's kind of like when you're perma bull and it just keeps going up, and then you see those bearish signs that everyone's ignoring, then you have that huge advantage. That's why I made such a killing back in August, September, October, November, those areas, and then it gets a little bit harder. So, but we're in the ascending wedge right now. Same general pattern of kind of back here. You finally broke out there. Excuse me. So you could bounce around a little bit more here. You do have the high volume node. Let me change this. So yeah. And then ETH as well. We can take a look at good curvature there. Your 4 hour, yeah, green dot. I believe you do have a bullish div almost. Yeah, just about, I would say. Bullish div right there to come up. You in all likelihood, if you're range bound, you in all likelihood, I mean, something like this probably wouldn't be the worst idea right now. Something of this nature, trying to get to the top of that area, 0.7 risk reward ratio. So yeah. And same deal with ETH. I mean, this originally on Bitcoin, especially, was a diamond pattern. Now it's kind of just turning into a wedge. You still can make the diamond pattern. It looked like we were breaking out of it. Nope, right back up. This is kind of a fake out. And then same deal with ETH now. I mean, it's funny because it's kind of like, oh, now it looks bullish. And that's what you have a lot in these ascending wedges. I mean, I would say, yeah, in terms of, well, Q2-day curving up, 4 hour green dot, that looks kind of good with the money flow, not gonna lie, that looks kind of good. And then you do have your long position right there, right about there. Yeah, something of that nature probably would work out okay. It is a little bit risky though, especially with the yellow X's and high time frames, especially on Bitcoin. But what we've been seeing is those don't work out as well. Usually they're more bottom signals now, and then they lag, and then it moves over. So yeah. Looking at high time frames in ETH, I mean, you still have, obviously, very bearish your blood diamond. Now, this one was 70%, the last one. This one was 87% to the exact bottom. I mean, you could map it out here and here, those as well. But 70%, that's probably the worst case this month I could see. That's like full capitulation down in the next 2 weeks. Then the merge, that's kind of a buy the rumor type thing. If the merge is successful, that absolutely could be a bottom at, what is it right now, about 500. So that's a big place, obviously. 500 is a huge place to look. Really between 3 and 500 could be a major accumulation phase. I mean, some people think that it'll be a longer accumulation phase along this line or something going into 2023. That's absolutely possible as well, to just stay at these low areas, and that's where your social risk goes lower. Everybody kind of gets bored, because I feel like if you're just bouncing around 500-600, I mean, everybody's going to be down. At least probably the average person got in, like, I would say the average price 3,000 or something. Everybody's down 80%. You put $1,000 and it's worth 200, and it's just bouncing around there. People are going to get bored, I would say. So yeah, weekly red dot as well. And it's similar to this. I mean, it's similar to this type of area, 60% down. I mean, I think Bitcoin would have to go down, for this to go down 60%, Bitcoin probably would go down minimum 40. I mean, it's hard to say. It seems like ETH will start to underperform it. So, could go down a lot more. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Binance, yeah. No, I'm not in a hurry. Not exactly in a hurry. Let's see. Bullshit on the weekly would be good, USD. Yeah. Recipe for weekly blood diamond. I don't see any. Is there a weekly blood diamond? Okay. 16K. Yeah, I mean 300 weekly moving average. Doge chain? I don't know about Doge chain. That's interesting. Sideways? We've been so sideways though. That would be interesting. That would be so boring. I hope that doesn't happen. Probably a good trade, yeah. Want some to. You guys smash the like button if you enjoy the content. Contraction line at 350 ETH. 350, it's possible. Yeah, that's like a bad scenario. I mean, that's 10K Bitcoin, I would say, most likely. It is possible that could be your real capitulation. I was buying ETH heavy at 300, so wouldn't surprise me. I was buying Bitcoin pretty heavy at around 10K too, so it would not surprise me. If we go back to those areas, it seems like price always, even if you got in at the bottom, it seems like price always seems to come back to where it was, you know what I mean? So yeah. Let's see, what somebody went long on the 12-minute. Yeah, that worked out well so far. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, as you're hit, yeah. Yep, on Bitcoin, yep. Right through, yeah. And what was this jump so far from here? 3%, yeah. And, you know, your SPY, the main thing I just want to show you guys on the SPY, too. This is why I kind of think it cool. We kind of have to break one way or the other. I mean, if you look at the SPY in the weekly, or let's look at the, I don't know, 10 days, since you don't have to scroll back as much. Or actually, maybe the 8-day. I want to see somewhere where the EMAs are all gray. Let's get rid of whatever the hell I was doing there. Yeah, they're kind of all gray. And if you look at, you know, kind of here, see, you came down. You weren't too sideways. You kept moving. And if the S&P 500 keeps moving, I think Bitcoin will come down with it. You know, kind of like here too. This is more where this is a choppy area. I mean, 01 was a weird year, but you generally did come down after. So yeah, the blood diamond and bam. So yeah. I don't think sideways for too much. I mean, that would be pretty crazy if you come down side. If you're just sideways for, I mean, the main thing we have to compare for sidewaysness is here. But yeah, if you're kind of like this, I feel like this is kind of what you're thinking. I mean, August and then, yeah, that was a while. It was a few months there. September, October, 3 months of just side. That would be crazy and boring. That's weird. How was that side? That's wild. That just triangle and then broke out downward. That is very weird how it was like that. You didn't even see, here you didn't see that though. See, I don't know. I feel like it's more like this and then just down. Possible. That's what I will say. Possible. Not the most likely scenario. I feel like you got to do something here. You know what I mean? Something has to happen. So yeah, I mean, in terms of, you're probably going to be in the wedge another day or two, I would say. Maybe you break out on the weekend. Maybe you're just in the wedge all weekend too. That would be, yeah, you're just in the wedge, just bouncing around. You know, just mind your own business in the wedge. Evan, wedge, Aldo. And this is the short fund for the QQQ. And if you look at your weekly here, this confirms in 22 hours, which would give you something. I mean, obviously risky on these, but you know, just given how the SPY looks, it looks so bad. Given how SPY QQQ SPY evaluation looks so bad, I feel like there could be some money to be made. You know, just holding this for the next few months, or month of September for that matter. It's a volatile puppy though, very, and not financial advice is a very dangerous thing. I mean, up to 50%, look how volatile that is, so yeah. And I mean, if you look at some of the altcoins, Cardano's been talked about a little bit more lately. People do make the argument that it's held up somewhat nicely from its all-time high. Let's see what percentage. 85, probably better than a lot of the altcoins, but still pretty low. I mean, I know the estimate that, you know, I kind of have and a lot of people have right now. Let's see the 8-day on this is a yellow X. That's interesting. Oh, that's interesting right there. And then, well, that would be kind of the case for the bottom, yeah, because that one, yeah, some of these high time frames do kind of give you the case for the bottom almost. It is confirmed too. My guess is you're kind of going to repeat something like that, unfortunately, like it's down 60%, 60 to 70%, 15 to 20 cents, kind of how this looks. I mean, because you look here, November 17 all the way up and then all the way down, you kind of need to come down to major points, like at least 20 cents, I would say, 15 cents around that area to kind of bottom out here. And if you do see your capitulation pretty soon, I mean, you know, if you're kind of like this one, and this was your real bottom, I mean, that was the pandemic, but here to here, around 67%, that's 15 cents, yeah, kind of like that. And how long would it take for that to happen? Let's see, November, not very long, 2 weeks about. September 1st, maybe, you know, when I'm on my flight to Costa Rica, September 15th, ETH merge, that's our bottom for pretty much everything. And that's where you got to go into. I would say, you know, because you know, altcoin evaluations typically don't bottom with Bitcoin until 6 months to a year after we bottom out with everything. I would say mainly Bitcoin, maybe a little bit more ETH. I do consider ETH a blue chip right now. Depends how much risk you want to take, but you know, I still think you're a little bit safer with more Bitcoin. Excuse me, more Bitcoin, but 50-50. I mean, I'm very, very Bitcoin heavy right now. It just depends. You know, what do you, if you're very ETH heavy and it seems like we're bottom out capitulation, probably the move would be more Bitcoin. If you're very Bitcoin heavy, probably the move would be a little bit more ETH, like what I'm planning on doing. And like I talked about before, the main thing you got to look at, you know, on Cardano or anything really for the bottom is the next green dot on probably like the minimum 6 day to confirm is probably going to give you somewhat of a bottom, kind of like how it did over here. Now you're not getting in at the exact bottom, but once it confirmed, you know, we do have this. It didn't form a new bottom for most things. Probably most of the altcoins. I don't know though, but for ETH and Bitcoin, it did not. The real bottom was over here. That's rough, and that was a tough because that was just a V-shaped recovery. Like you don't even count it because it was just so quick. You know what I mean? You know, people just sold and bought back pretty much. So yeah. Let's see the chat. Let's see. Oh yeah, I read that one. 10K Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean that's the point. Yeah. Yeah, the contraction line. CVC. Yeah, S&P 500 during 08. Yeah, I mean, Antonio, like I was looking at it, it don't look good. Yeah, it looks like we're getting into that point. Yeah. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. My view is that we bottom out before the S&P 500 for some reason. Like we capitulate down with it kind of, but we bottom out before. Matic, I mean, it's kind of like the notion on Matic and a lot of these, the farther they come up, the farther they drop, you know what I mean? This don't look good at all. This weekly looks so bad. I mean, I feel like at least you're going to have something like this. Well, maybe, I mean, 80%'s a lot, but 70 would be 60 to 70. That's probably a best case scenario. 80s, 17. This is weird because you're probably not going to, let me go on some lower. This, probably one of these, 15, I would say, 10 to 15, 10 to 20. That's what I'm kind of looking at for this. What's interesting is commodities are, I feel like this is just going to bounce off of this declining wedge, or yeah, declining wedge, just bounce off of this and come back up to our target or whatever. I feel like commodities are going to start to, especially this one, this looks bullish. I mean, the weekly confirmed green dot, I mean, I feel like it's got to come up at least to our technical target there. At least to like 9 something here. I know oil is down today, yeah, but hitting a major point here. You see, it's like price loves that area. I don't know if this will confirm. It could. It absolutely could. I mean, it's a lot of fear, and the dollar is just coming up more than I thought it was. I thought we'd have more stagflation. It is interesting. See, these don't really. Maybe a little bit lower, then come back up. Let's look at the Dixie, because that got up to like 109, which is Yeah, I mean, you do have this point, though, so maybe you hit this point, you start coming down while the S&P 500, while everything else continues to come down except commodity, and then commodities start to rip a little bit. Could be, and then that's indicative of more inflation. Or this just continues to rise, and then we get a good CPI report middle of the month, and that's kind of gives, you know, just add some confluence to the successful ETH merge, and you come up a lot more. So yeah, you do have the monthly about to print a nice bearish div, so could come down a bit with that. Although we did kind of think with the weekly you'd see more of a top. We did come down a little bit, so just a little bearish divs. So yeah, kind of the view that some people have is once you get above 110, things kind of get ugly. Just the world in general, economically, it does not look good. People have talked about this, this scenario. I mean, we weren't printing as much money back. We weren't printing the money we are today back then. So I don't know if you'd come that high. Yeah, it's kind of this pattern, this, well, no, that would target you way lower, so it doesn't even mean anything, but yeah. Actually, no, yeah, it does not work. Green dot in the 8-day here. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned the weekly. There's no blood diamond on a weekly, I don't believe. Yeah. No, just the yellow X, yeah. This one, I mean, Market Cipher killed this call, right, with the RSC. Yeah, this was probably as bearish as you could get right there. April, yeah. That was really probably the last chance to get the hell out of this. Get out of this bull run safely, you know what I mean? Last chance to really take your gains that you made back here or here. Well, a little bit from here. Well, all coins would have done well. All coins were still pretty high at that point. That was probably the last real chance. At this point, I mean, might as well just ride it to the end. So yeah. Which hardware wallet do I use? Treasure. Yeah, I hope so. Doesn't sound like it's EWT. There's some CVC. Yeah, we could look at a few of these. Civic. Not good. Probably best case scenario, like 9 cents. Worst over here, probably. That weekly does not look good. EWT. Same deal, basically. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, these are crap tokens. This is a crap token and a half. Anything could happen with this. I don't know who's pumping this. I don't know who's dumping this, but I think in all likelihood you're going to end up at least at this point. Probably down a lot more. Okay, smash the like button if you enjoy the content. Let's see right here. I mean, let's see. What can I ask you guys? I mean, this is a good question. Lose, okay, this is a good question. Go below 17K this month. That's a good question. So will we make a new low this month? That's what I want to ask you guys. That's a good question to see. Try to answer honestly. Like, tell me what you really think. I'm just curious, like, what the views that you guys have. Oh man, imagine getting in back here, $5. Thing too, I mean, I do think, nothing goes up forever. That's the main view we have. Apple looks so bad on the weekly. Look at this. I mean, obviously people would argue, here, these points, it's eventually going to go into the recession. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like here. Kind of what we're seeing right now. Kind of almost could be a little trigger wave and then bam. Kind of like a wave. Very similar. A double top and then bam, right down. Bad recession, curve around. I mean, people are already talking about how it's like worse than the dot-com bubble because more money came out. Well, I mean, obviously, you know, in terms of percentages, it's not worse, not nearly as close. I mean, in terms of percentages, it's, you know, down to 14%. It's not even, a lot of this isn't even close. That was a potential, you know, short position I was talked about taking, or doing options for this. You know, it seems to be working pretty damn well so far. So yeah. Monthly green dot, that's confirmed. I think that's, you know, if you just look at this compared to this one, no, but if you look at, this is the one that really looks like it's about to, this one looks like it's going out of business. I'm just kidding, but, you know, kind of like right here, or, yeah, this is just straight down at the top. Yeah, just like, see that money flow height? Bam, right down. Right down. I mean, nothing goes up forever, guys. Nothing. These RSIs or EMAs, excuse me, are finally starting to curve. We're kind of like in this point, you know, kind of like right here. Finally starting to curve down. I mean, it's just in my view, it just seems like it's a great thing to get the hell away from right now. I mean, QQQ too. Do we even, yeah, you do have the .com bubble here. I mean, yeah, see those starting to curve down, starting to curve, yeah, just like that, you know. Money flow high as it's ever been. I mean, if you look at the NDQ, it's probably a little bit, yeah, a little bit different there, but just look at that. I mean, just look at all the way up, down. Oh wait, looks like nothing here. Oh wait, looks like COVID, just like a pandemic type black swan, and then nothing, which it was a little bit, but really it shouldn't have been. Really, they just printed money. You know, you just curve down here, kind of the same thing. I mean, it just looks like an amazing thing to get away from, to just take all your money and run. You know, take those gains you got in, you know, back here. You were buying this 2016. I mean, I know people who were buying. I know somebody who made a killing on Apple stock buying it back here. Great time to run. Great time to run away. Let's look at your Berkshires. Whenever I see this, I think of Berkshire, like the Berkshires in Massachusetts, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, is that inspired? I know Berkshire Hathaway is a mill, but was it in Mass? I don't even know where he started it. I don't know. But if you look at this too on the monthly, see, it comes up, curves down. Here's a little bit different. I mean, wow, you've only been in the non-brights with this a little bit. I mean, what kind of return does somebody get if they were buying this a few years? Man, 100%. That weekly, yeah, coming into all the gray EMAs there. Gray EMA is insane. Looks so similar to that point. I mean, I guess there is the argument to make for that, not really going into recession, but, well, we're already in a recession, but I mean, you know, mild recession, let's say. But here, I mean, it looks very similar to this type of area, just curving downward. I mean, what type of percentage would, you know, just from the EMAs turning, it's 46%, EMAs turning gray here. Let's say it's 46% from that area. Ooh. Oh, right to the bottom. That's interesting. And that's pretty normal for recessions. You do come back like 5 years in time. Like, people would probably be saying like, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But no, like, you come back 5 years in time. You come back typically with the SPY, even more for recessions. I mean, oh wait, you came back to the late 90s, like not a fun experience, but then you shot right back up. But I mean, you do come back. So I mean, yeah, 46% downward. I think that would probably be for the average like person, you know, just holding like a bunch of index funds and retirement accounts, IRAs, all that. I mean, it depends how aggressive they are, but I would say probably from where we are right now, the probably between 40 to 50% down from where we are right now. So, you know, you have $1 million, you got $2 million in, you know, index funds. That's probably going to turn into $1 million on average. 2 million to $1 million. That's what I kind of would estimate. Now, I mean, obviously there's tax implications. Obviously you got to, you know, calculate out how much, you know, what the, you know, never financial advice, you know, you got to do your own research. You know, don't hold some random guy on YouTube accountable for your mistakes. But you got to calculate that with the taxes, how to approach this in the right way to, you know, not lose everything here. Now, you know, people always are going to be talking about, you know, what do we put our money into? Gold is one possibility. Now, if we look at gold, I bought some of this, not a crazy amount. I mean, what I'm looking for at this is probably what seems to happen with this in recessions. Where's 08? You bottom out before everything else, a few months before everything else, and you do come down a little bit in the beginning with everything else. So you come down 33%. Let's say you come down 33% and you bottom out, 33% or something. I think it's going to be a little less, 14 to 1500 is a big area, probably here, maybe even 1300 right at that point. You come down to that point, and then you really shoot up, you know what I mean? Then you really shoot up for the next few years. And if you look at the real evaluation too, and if we have a 5-year perspective, 5-year trajectory here, we don't really care, about what's going to happen in a little bit, right? Or what am I doing now? No, gold, SPX. Look at right here with the money flow, kind of the same deal, curving upward and then outperformed a lot. This was, 01. Right here was 69, came up. So yeah, I mean, that was such a long time ago, 1969. I mean, how many years? 50 something years ago. That's a long time. I mean, it's probably well before most of you were born. Let's see. Chico crypto coin. People are very bearish. I mean, there's probably that that case to be made where you just come down even farther, like Garrett Sawway said, like 5,000 or whatever. But yeah, it's really hard for people's energy. Yeah. Let's see. Quaint. You said please, QNT, sure. I've heard of this one. CryptoFace had a funny nickname for this. I mean, red dot in the weekly doesn't look too good to me. I mean, I think you would probably come down quite a bit with everything else. I mean, this could go to zero, really. I mean, I hate this. This, sounds extremely pessimistic, but probably $30 or something. There's not enough data on this chart. Oh, okay, yeah. No, even this one, yeah. You'd probably bounce off somewhere around here, but this could go to zero, I think. U.S. oil, somebody asked me about. I think you would. Yeah, I believe that was a cool. Shout out to a cool. Okay, so places to buy U.S. oil. I think for a couple year trajectory, probably right now isn't the worst. Here is big, obviously. You seem to be breaking this neckline. You'd probably get a target around 50 or something, but I think this pocket would be pretty big. Even now is probably not the worst possible. I mean, you have the weekly trigger wave. I wouldn't say it's the worst possible time. What's good, bro? Just want sideways button on the question. Oh, what? Oh, sideways? Okay. It's more of a yes or no. Let's see. So yes. Okay. So you guys are more bearish. AVAX. What's up, bullish whiz? Yeah, it's okay, AVAX. This is interesting too, because you kind of have like head and shoulders or something forming, and what would the target for this be? You lose the neckline. Let's say the neckline's up here, $2. I don't think you would go that low though, but I mean, that's 987 from here. That would be crazy. That would be like Bitcoin under 10K probably. Your weekly don't look good though. That's what I will say. Your weekly do not look good. This is one I've been short on for a while. I'm still holding a short on this. Yeah, yellow X, like, yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, weekly red. I mean, let's look at probably your 10-day probably has. Not yet. Probably your 8-day has something. Yeah, your 8-day and the last. Ooh, I didn't even notice this. A blood diamond. I mean, if it plays out like this, that's your 80% drop down. Yeah, sadly. Could be $4, sadly. All the way back down. All of this wiped away. December 2020. All of this. You became a multi-millionaire. Went up 50x. All wiped away. All done. You put $1 million in. You made 50 million. All gone. Now you only have $1 million left. All gone. You put in, I mean, 50x. Okay, so if you put in 10,000, that's 5 million, I believe. Well, if you put in 1,000, it's 50. I believe. If you put in 10, that 50. No, it's only 500,000, I believe. Yeah, you'd have had to put in 100 grand to make 5 million. Yeah, even with that, you still had to put in a lot. But that 8-day does not look like wait. Probably you could have capitulate down, and then the next. You do have that point at 320. The next green dot, yeah, the next green dot could be this area. That's the main thing I would say. Keep some cash on the side for those green dots and the 6-day and everything. Minimum 6-day for those to confirm. That would be a high likelihood of bottoming out. And I mean, you know, you're buying Bitcoin, say it's at 13K, then, you know, it looks like a bottom out. Even if you do go down to like 5K or 7K, it's not the worst thing. But yeah. Let's see here. Hopefully, I mean, I'm trying to. You do have a bearish div on your 15, so yeah. You come back down to this point. Is there a? Let's see if we can get a high volume node or like something. Let's see if there's something in between here that we could mess around with. Yeah, you probably could end up back at, yeah, right to there, yeah, 1540. Probably could end up right back to there. I mean, it's a little tough right now to really say, but you know. ICP. We already looked at Matic. Yeah, you were around, Matthew, in around that time. Thoughts on natural gas? We could take a look at it. Let me look at ICP first because, you know, some people, I know a lot of people don't like ICP. I don't know enough about the fundamentals on it. I know Forrest from Crypto Stackers, shout out to Forrest. He was on the channel a little while ago. He said it's I don't know if he necessarily really likes it, but he said it's a possibility of low numbers to get in. Right now, I'm not really seeing any reason to get in, but maybe if you get a bullish div on your weekly, that would probably be the first bullish div, the next green dot here. So, but that could bring you down, I mean, another 75%, like everything else, kind of $2, something like that, all-time low. Natural gas, we could take a look at. Let's see how that looks. So, weekly. That monthly, I kind of like that monthly. I think with natural gas, with a lot of this, you know, if we look at this versus the SPY versus the SPX, a lot of it, I think, will outperform the SPX, like Warren Buffett's trying to do for the next few years. Now, short term, it could be a little choppy, absolutely. I mean, it's unlikely you're just going to keep coming straight up like this, but yeah. I don't know if I'd want to buy it like this. I mean, money flow coming out, you're about to get a bearish div. I don't know if I'd want to buy it right now, but yeah. The 4ELXs and jump. I mean, the thing too is you're already up a lot. You're already up 200%. I mean, that's a lot. But then again, you were, from 08, yeah, you were down 99%. Can you even trade? Let me know in the comment. Are you able to actually, like, were you able actually to short this here? Like, could you have done that, or could you really buy this at these lows, or do you have to find a different ETF? Is this a real ETF? I don't know. We looked at ADA, 15 to 20 cents, I think. Who's the top of the channel for ETH? Good question. Right now, 660. So yeah. And you'll probably, I mean, how much longer are you going to bounce around here? Probably a few more days, maybe into the weekend. It could be still sideways. Probably, yeah, next, I mean, I would say September 5th, the latest. Then you'll probably break downward, I would say. Yeah, you could have some wicks up to get everybody out, though. What it kind of looks like at the moment. So yeah. Excuse me. Hex. Okay, hex. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to look much worse than this. I mean, money flow coming out, red dot on your weekly. Yeah, first time yellow X in the 8-day. I mean, it looks like you're going to a cent. My guess is probably bottom out at a cent, maybe cent 5, best case scenario. Could be when this 8-day hits, yeah, end of the month. Maybe we capitulate real quick. I mean, if it's gonna crash very quickly, very soon, it's gonna happen. You know, if there's a time within the next few months that's gonna crash very quickly, it's probably either now or in traditional December, January. That's what I would say. It seems like now. It seems like now with these yellow X's coming up. Excuse me. Yeah, you guys are thinking sideways. I hope that doesn't happen. That's gonna be boring. Suck up all the sun. No, I live in Florida, so it's fine. Oh yeah, I'm in the. Oh, you guys see that? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wish I could be more bullish. I know some of you guys who are more bullish get annoyed, but yeah, I just try to be objective as possible. Yeah. Yeah, winter's gonna be cold. I gotta move to South Dakota or something. Let's see. It's so weird seeing this. It's a weird time. I mean, good jobs reports are bringing the market down because it's making the Fed hawkish. It's just weird. Like, it is a weird time. Like, it's weird. Lululemon. Is that public? I'm curious how that's doing. Yeah, I think it actually is. Yeah, Lululemon. Yeah, weekly don't look too hot. Oh, it's been public for that long? Wow, I didn't even know this was around that long. It could be, yeah, something like, geez, 80%. How much was this up from? Oh, 10x, wow. What goes up must come down. Yeah, bad recessions will bring you back. 5 years. I think this area is possible. This could be a nice short. You know, under the radar, this could be a nice short. You know, CNBC kind of bullish on it. That means it's probably going to go down. So yeah, could be a nice short here. Kind of under the radar. Yeah, it's probably came up a lot in the post market, right? Yeah. That could be a nice little short there. Just look at that. I mean, if you go down to this point, it's 59. See ya, cool. Let's look at Solana. Sure. Yeah, I mean, Solana is one of those kind of what went up must come down. I mean, look. Yeah, I mean, those like bubble chart patterns. 94. I don't know what's going to happen with this. All I can tell you is the weekly don't look good. The weekly does not look good. I think there's a strong argument to make. You know, the next bullish div you have on the weekly, kind of a reverse head and shoulders, could be the bottom. But that absolutely could bring you down another 76% before that happens. 75, $10. That's a big point. Yeah, that would be $10 down would be probably 95% down. I mean, Cardano went down 98% last cycle, which is wild. So yeah. But just nothing is looking good enough for me right now. That's kind of the issue. Just nothing is looking good enough for me. Really nothing. I mean, aside from like maybe a couple come out, like wheat. Wheat is the only one I'm giving a shot at right now for bullishness. I mean, how's Euro USD doing? It just keeps dropping. I think it's going to start to get more choppy. Could be like there. Wow, it's even lower than... I thought you would think 08 would have been more, but no. Yeah. 1984, yeah. Imagine it gets like that. That would be crazy. That would be rough if it gets that low. That would be like... It'd be a rough time for the world, which we are kind of due. I mean, it's hard to say what would happen. World War III, Civil War... Probably not a civil. Well, you know, people are talking about Civil War, and then it's World War III. I mean, any type of war would... It's hard to say what would happen with that, but I'm not the person to ask, really. But, yeah. Have to do more research. But, you're probably hitting a fib level here on ETH, too. Yep. Golden pocket. Probably going to come down to this area or something. Is it this? Is it crypto? I don't... Yeah. I mean, this is eventually going to dump. You just got to know. You just wait till they rug pull you. How's this doing? It's doing good. I mean, can you trade this anywhere? I don't... Yeah, up 200%. Yeah. Volatile puppy. How's, this is the one Journey Crypto was always showing. Ooh. Yeah, it's not. March 20, yeah, down 98%, essentially at 0. This may not be around next cycle. This could be like this guy. Anyone remember this garbage? Yeah, this was like kind of a, yeah, it's probably down 99% from its all-time high. Yeah, well, yeah, essentially 0. I wonder what that, yeah. Oh, this is against Bitcoin, hold on. We want to look at against, it's probably even, yeah. Essentially 0. I don't know what the market, probably a few, a couple million. I don't, what would the market cap be on this? 50 million? I don't even know. Possibly less. Yeah. I mean, you look at, we haven't looked at the meme coins. Somebody told me they, you know, bought Dogecoin when it was at 3 cents. That's kind of my main guess for this. 3 cents, down 56. Nah, it would probably have to go lower, I feel like. I don't know. I mean, the main thing for alts is, and this is still high. I mean, it's probably 70% down, 2 cents. But the thing is, the weekly, once you get that bullish div on the weekly, that could be it. That could be it. Whenever that may happen, you know, whether an unlikely chance we've already bottomed out, you get that, that could be it. I'm just trying to think, if you went up to even there, if that's 300%, yeah. What about Zcash? I know this is under $1 billion market cap now. Yeah, the weekly. Yeah, just that next bullish div on a lot of these, that next bullish div on the weekly, that's what might give us what we need. That patience for that may give us what we need, and that's where the opportunity is to maybe, not financial advice, but maybe make life-changing wealth if you're able to get in there. Maybe. I'm not saying it's the bottom, but maybe. Thing is, like the dot-com bubble, gold still outperformed the NASDAQ and a lot of things for a while, though, so... Yeah. What's up, Travis? Yeah, 78% think we're going down. Guys, by the way, if you want to sign up for BITGET, link right here. Really good promo going on, so check that out. Link description below. If you want to make a new account, you only have to trade with a little bit. You get a nice bonus. So check that out. And yeah. How's Monero? I mean, one of these will probably stand the test of time. I mean, same deal with this. 71, yeah, the curve down. Get to this point, 64, yeah. Yeah, this was kind of a little fad back in the day. I haven't looked at this in a while. This is down like so much, probably, right? Yeah, 86, yeah. What was, people went nuts with this. This was a big, like, crypto YouTuber thing. Ape, yeah, never even that. Yeah, this is probably dead. This probably will not be around next cycle. Trying to think here. How are some of the, how are the mute? I've been keeping my eye. Are you guys into NFTs? Like, what's your, are any of you guys into NFTs? What are your picks for NFTs? This is probably 2023 when I would go in, but this had 10 grand maybe. You know, floor price, 10 grand, 5 to 10 grand, something like that. Maybe just to like say you have a big bougie NFT. Kind of like these, I like the ones with the multiple eyes. Any picks on NFTs, guys? What are the board? I mean, these are obviously probably still 100 grand. And if you look at the, yeah, it's a lot of ETH, 100 grand, yeah. If you look at the, what is it? The, these went down a lot, but you can't even see like wait, how could it be that cheap? 30, you can't do a buy now. Like, what's the, you can't see the floor price. Does anyone know? Like, what's going on with that? How do I buy one of these? You know, well, I mean, 30 ETH is not a lot, but I mean, 80 ETH, how did it sell for that price? Yeah, am I looking at the right thing? I don't, yeah, how do you buy one of these? Wrong thing. We looked at Luna Classic. Other deeds. It's probably this, right? Yeah, like, oh, these are kind of cool. Oh, it's only an ETH? Interesting. Could be a possibility. I wonder if these guys, I kind of like these guys, the Chads. They're down a lot, but yeah, the Chads. $14. Look at this guy. Don't you want to be this guy? I mean, look at these. Look at these. Chads. Look at these Chads. It's a green Chad. He's in a one-piece bathing suit. Look at this Chad. It's just Chad with a mustache. It's just all Chads. Chad City. Chad. Yeah. Cardano. Is it just Cardano? I don't. Yeah, I don't know. This is the, what was it? I do have this one. It's Cowan's one. I mean, who knows if it'll... If you look at, I believe you gotta look at the collection, and then you gotta... Yeah, like the floor price, I believe is what it'll tell you. Yeah, that ain't a lot of money. You buy, yeah, $78 is nothing. Well, for free, I mean... Yeah. Maybe the Mutant Apes I would look into. Pups of Anarchy. Let's see that one. Art is so subjective. It's gotta be this, right? This isn't even... I can't even... That's probably so speculative. Like, it's probably almost for free. You could get it, but potentially it could go up a lot. I think that's what happened with all the NFTs, which is crazy. Kind of reminds me of like the in RuneScape, like blue party hats, all that type of stuff. Like if you were first, you got it, and then it was very rare. But in real life, there was a value to buy that in real life. I think you can still probably do it. Like those sites where you could buy like, I know it's in a video game, but like stuff like the party hats and in RuneScape, I don't know how much, maybe a few $100s or something. Nothing crazy, but yeah. What's this one? Ethereum name service? What? Oh, it's like by the domain or whatever. I believe I own that. I don't even remember. That's you got to remember because I don't even. Did I buy evanaldo.eth? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Somebody's gonna probably buy it now and try to sell it to me for a lot of money. But yeah, I think I bought it. Moonbirds. What do these look like? Yeah, this is like the crypto punks. I didn't read. Wow. Have these been around a while? Yeah, I guess they have. Yeah. It is probably the other version of CryptoPunks, yeah. Poor man's CryptoPunk, probably, right? On-chain monkeys. Oh, okay, these are cheap. $1,000. $1,000 for his crap, yeah. Yeah. That's what you're gonna. This is what it's gonna look like when you buy an NFT, guys. This is what it's gonna look like. No, I'm just kidding. Yep, we're pumping. Yeah, I know. Yeah, now you're 30 minutes in the, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you come up to this point, maybe not. Then you come back down. Could be a day or two, just bounce around this range. Yeah. Psycho Kitties. What does Psycho Kitties look like? Is it this? Yeah. It's so cheap. But it's maybe it could go up. Yeah. That's interesting. Hmm. Bone? Bone coin? Mom, I made $10 million off Bone coin. Are there always like coins that just get released and go to the moon and then go to zero after? I mean, is this normal? Yeah, I feel like I've been doing this long enough where somebody mentions to me something that's like really sky high. I don't know. I mean, money flow is starting to come out here. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, these 12-hour, 16-hour are basically long signals right now. And they start appearing, nice long signal. I could see, yeah, I could see probably to, you know, that stop everybody out. I could see, yeah, up to this, yeah, 20.6 again. You'll be range bound, then you're probably just gonna break bearish out of this thing. Maybe if it's over here, I mean, let's see, that's 18.9 again. September 3rd, 2 days. Would be Saturday. Could be a little bit after. Yeah. Is there any spiral line up there? Yeah, there's that. Maybe that point, 20.7 in a few days. Yeah. Yep. Alright guys, I think we went through a lot. It's not the art, yeah, okay. Cadena? Ah man, I don't know enough about it. Doesn't look good, I'll tell you that. Let's look at a chart with more data here. Maybe KuCoin, yeah. $98. It could end up there. It really could, yeah. But could it end up there and then come all the way back in the next cycle? Absolutely. I gotta read up on more about it, but if it's really low, I would maybe throw a few $100s in it, maybe more, maybe a few thousand. We'll see though. We'll see. Calculated risk. It's not going to still be at 20K in January. That would be the most boring thing I've seen in my entire life if it's still exact. I mean, if it's at, like, it really depends what happens before then. If it goes to 10K before then it's at 20K. It probably did. Yeah, we can look at DAG. Constellation. I like the astrology stuff a little bit. Yeah, we forgot to look at the moon cycle today. Yeah, that doesn't look... I mean, that's what I feel like for most of the alts, down another 70%. Yeah, around here could be a bottom. Just that bullish div on the weekly. That bullish div on the weekly could be the bottom for a lot of things. That's what I will tell you. That's what I will say. Let's just look at the moon cycle real quick for Bitcoin. Yeah, that's the thing. You're about to get your half moon. So maybe we come up a little bit in the next couple days to this spiral line, 20.7, half moon drop. That half moon drop. Sounds like a dance move, half moon drop. 15%, 17, yeah, something like there. To the new low, yeah. Would happen within the next week, I believe. That one, well, that one didn't work out too well. But yeah. I mean, the technical target for this wedge, this rising wedge we broke downward. Let's see what that would have been. Approximately something like that. How do you even... We probably already hit it. Yeah, basically hitting it right now. I feel like the next half moon, whenever that, I mean, how many bars is it? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so the 5th, that's 4 days. That would bring us to Monday, Tuesday next week. Yeah, maybe come up to here, 20.6, then bam! Right down, right down, right down. Yeah. What do I think about the ETH merge? I think if it goes well, we will at least pump a little bit after it. But I think within the next 2 weeks, you could crash a lot before it. Other than that, not too much, not too many thoughts on it. Oh, it's okay. It's the same thing as the Psycho Kitty thing. Interesting. I mean, they're cheap. You can't even, you got to bid on them or whatever. Yeah. We got a lot of, I guess a lot of people are on at 6 p.m. Yeah, guys, we've been on a while now. It's been about over an hour, so pretty much exhausted everything. I mean, if you're just tuning in, I am still more bearish, especially based on the, 8-day yellow X printing. I think there's a strong argument to make for a 40 to 60% Bitcoin, even within the next few weeks, within the next month. For a capitulation downward to a potential bottom, S&P 500 looks probably as bad as you can possibly look right now, especially on the weekly. I think there may be, some wicks up to 20.7. We're in a range right now, especially with ETH to, these points before continuing down farther. It's not the market cipher. The market makers are up to market cipher. I mean, the yellow X's, they're becoming more like buy signals, when they start to print because everybody's going short, and then nope, right back up, stop you out, just get you out. Just lose all your money. They love that. They love that. It's a rough world out there. It's a rough world. But yeah, I think you could bounce around this for a few days and then maybe come down on September 5th. I think September 5th the latest. Could be a boring weekend, and it's not typically what we see. See you guys. Hope you enjoy your the rest of your night. Hope you got something out of this live stream. Check out my link to BITGET down below. Really good promo if you were an experienced trader, want to trade in there. Really good promo going on right now. And let's see, check out my exclusive Discord, first day of September. Best day to sign up. Link in description below. A lot of good TA on there. We have a lot of people that have done very well with it. Full disclosure, there are some failing trades, not right 100% of the time, so check that out. Keep that in mind. Market Cipher, link in the description below. And let's see what else is there. My trading course, yeah, it's a really good course if you are new, so check that out. Link in the description below. Good discount right now. Bear market 20. A lot of people have really liked it. I think it's a really good starting point. Go over all the things I do, TA, how to interpret Market Cipher, how I make my trades, risk management, all the things theoretically you need to know. So yeah, check that out. Link in the description below. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Have a good one. Goodbye.